Imagine a world where love isn't measured by grand gestures or fleeting words, but by silent understanding and unwavering devotion. Where a husband and wife don't need constant validation because their bond is woven into their daily lives. In every shared glance, every act of service, and every quiet prayer at dawn, the Amish have mastered this art of love, building relationships that stand the test of time. But what is their secret? How do they nurture such deep, lasting connections in a world that often forgets the true essence of companionship? Let's step into the old Amish way and uncover their timeless wisdom. Shared morning devotions as the first light of dawn filters through the farmhouse windows. An Amish couple begins their day, not with hurried schedules or digital distractions, but with quiet devotion. Sitting side by side, they open the Bible, reading verses that offer strength and guidance. A simple morning prayer follows, their voices low but filled with faith. In this sacred routine, they find a moment of stillness, a connection not just with God, but with each other. Starting the day with prayer and scripture sets a peaceful tone, anchoring their relationship in faith. Studies show that couples who share spiritual practices experience deeper emotional intimacy and stronger bonds. The act of praying together fosters trust, gratitude, and a sense of unity, reminding them that no matter what challenges the day brings, they are walking the path hand in hand. The Amish believe that love isn't just about spoken words, it's about shared purpose. Morning devotions serve as a daily reminder of that purpose. As Psalm 118:24 says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." By beginning each morning in faith, Amish couples embrace the day with joy, gratitude, and a renewed commitment to each other. Silent love language in an Amish home. Love isn't always spoken, it's felt in the quiet moments. A husband placing an extra log on the fire because he knows his wife gets cold. A wife setting aside his favorite pie after a long day's work. A brief glance across the dinner table, a slight touch on the arm. These unspoken gestures speak louder than words. The Amish understand that love doesn't always need to be expressed through grand declarations. Instead, it thrives in subtle gestures, body language, and intuitive understanding built over years of shared life. A husband may notice the tiredness in his wife's eyes and take over evening chores without a word. A wife may pack his lunch with a little extra care, knowing he has a long day ahead. These silent acts of service are their way of saying, "Need to see you." Psychologists say that couples who develop strong nonverbal communication tend to have deeper emotional connections. When words are few, actions carry even greater meaning. The Amish, with their simple and intentional way of life, have mastered this art. Their love is woven into the everyday proof that sometimes the most profound expressions of love are the ones that don't need to be spoken at all. Home-cooked care in an Amish home. Love is often served on a plate, warm, nourishing, and made with care. The wife kneads dough in the early morning, the smell of fresh bread filling the kitchen. A husband tends the garden, picking the ripest vegetables for supper. Preparing meals isn't just a chore, it's an act of love, a way of saying, "I cherish you." Food has always been a symbol of love and togetherness. Across cultures and history, meals have brought families closer, strengthening relationships through shared effort and gratitude. In Amish tradition, cooking for one another is more than just sustenance. It's a daily ritual of care. A husband appreciating the warmth of homemade stew after a long day in the fields, or a wife receiving a simple breakfast prepared by her husband on a Sunday morning, builds an unspoken bond that deepens over time. This tradition aligns with biblical teachings on hospitality and care. Proverbs 31:15 beautifully reflects this devotion. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. The act of feeding loved ones is a spiritual practice, a way of honoring both family and faith. For the Amish, a home-cooked meal is more than just food. It's a silent promise of love, devotion, and unwavering care, served fresh every single day. Traditional herbal boosts in an Amish household, healing doesn't always come from a pharmacy. It often comes from the earth. A steaming cup of peppermint tea for digestion, a honey and garlic tonic for immunity, or a soothing chamomile salve for aching muscles. These remedies, passed down through generations, are more than just treatments. They are a reflection of deep-rooted wisdom and care. Across cultures, herbal medicine has long been a symbol of nurture and healing. From Native American sage smudging to ancient Chinese herbal tonics, natural remedies have always played a role in strengthening the body and spirit. The Amish embrace this tradition wholeheartedly, using herbs not just for health, but as a way of maintaining a natural, God-given balance in life. Oh, this practice aligns with biblical healing traditions. In Mark 6:13 it is said, "They drove out many demons and anointed many sick people with oil and healed them." The use of anointing oils, fragrant balms, and herbal extracts has been a part of faith-based healing for centuries. For Amish couples, preparing herbal remedies together is another quiet way of expressing love. A husband gathers fresh echinacea leaves for his wife's tea, while she carefully brews elderberry syrup to keep the family strong. It's a simple, timeless ritual, one that nurtures both health and the deep bonds they share. Quality, gadget-free time in today's fast-paced world. Distractions are everywhere. Grandless notifications, glowing screens, and the constant pull of technology. But in an Amish household, love isn't filtered through a screen. It's nurtured through presence. Without smartphones or televisions, Amish couples strengthen their bond by truly being there for one another. Studies show that reducing screen time leads to stronger relationships. Research from the University of Essex found that even the mere presence of a phone during a conversation lowers emotional connection and trust. The Amish understand this instinctively. Instead of scrolling through social media, they engage in heartfelt conversations. They engage in heartfelt conversations. Instead of binge-watching shows, they share stories, laughter, and quiet moments of reflection. Couples often spend their evenings side by side, mending clothes, whittling wood, or simply watching the sunset together. A husband helps his wife churn butter while she hums an old hymn. A wife assists her husband in the barn, their silent teamwork reinforcing their unspoken connection. These small, everyday moments, free from distraction, create an unbreakable foundation of love and companionship. In a world that is always rushing forward, the Amish remind us of a simple truth. Love flourishes when we slow down, look up, and truly see the person beside us. Handwritten love notes. In an age where love is often expressed through emojis and text messages, the Amish keep romance alive in a more heartfelt way. Handwritten notes. A simple piece of paper, a few carefully chosen words, and a note slipped into a lunch pail or tucked into a Bible can mean more than 1,000 digital messages. These notes are not grand declarations, but small, intimate reminders of love and appreciation. A husband might write, "Thinking of you as I plow the fields today," while a wife may leave a note that says, "Your hard work is a blessing to our family." These little messages, often written on scraps of paper, become treasures, tokens of affection that deepen their bond over time. Even in biblical times, love was expressed through written words. Isaiah 49:16 beautifully reflects this sentiment. "I have written your name on the palms of my hands." Just as God cherishes his people, couples who take the time to write to one another are showing that same deep commitment. Unlike fleeting text messages, these handwritten notes can be kept for years, read and reread, serving as gentle reminders of love's endurance. In a world that moves fast, the Amish remind us that sometimes the most meaningful words are the ones written by hand, with love. Acts of thoughtful service. Love is not just spoken in an Amish home. It is shown through daily acts of service. In their world, a simple deed speaks louder than 1,000 words. Whether it's a husband waking up early to chop firewood so his wife stays warm, or a wife mending her husband's worn out shirt before he even asks, these small gestures build a foundation of love and respect. The Amish believe in love in action. A husband might bring in fresh water from the well, knowing it will ease his wife's morning chores. A wife may set aside the best portion of a home-cooked meal for her husband after a long day in the fields. These tasks may seem ordinary, but they carry deep meaning. They say, "I see you. I appreciate you. I am here for you." This selfless devotion reflects a powerful biblical principle: serve one another humbly in love. Galatians 5:13. Service, in its purest form, is an expression of love, one that doesn't seek recognition, but instead finds joy in giving. In a world where love is often measured by grand gestures, the Amish remind us that true devotion is found in the little things, the quiet, everyday acts that say, "I love you," without needing a single word. Intimate bedroom rituals as the day winds down, Amish couples embrace a sacred time of togetherness, a quiet, intimate ritual before bed. Unlike the modern world, where screens and distractions invade the bedroom, the Amish see this time as an opportunity to reconnect, reflect, and simply be present with each other. For some, this may be as simple as sitting together in the dim glow of an oil lamp, sharing thoughts about the day. Others may engage in a short prayer, holding hands as they ask for blessings on their home and loved ones. Even something as small as a husband gently tucking in his wife's quilt, or a wife smoothing out his pillow before he rests, becomes a tender act of love. Oh, these small habits strengthen emotional and physical closeness. Studies show that bedtime routines can foster deeper intimacy by reducing stress and increasing feelings of security. The Amish, without external distractions, have long understood this, knowing that love isn't just about grand moments, but about the quiet rhythms of everyday life. Family and community support in the Amish way of life, marriage isn't just about two individuals. It's about an entire community coming together to support and strengthen that bond. From the moment a couple says their vows, they are surrounded by family, friends, and neighbors who play a vital role in their journey. Unlike modern societies where couples often face struggles alone, the Amish believe in leaning on their community during tough times. Whether it's elders offering wise counsel, families coming together for barn raisings, or neighbors helping with daily chores, these acts of support ease burdens and strengthen relationships. True. A husband and wife are never truly alone in their challenges. They always have a network ready to step in and guide them. Family bonds are equally important. Amish families spend quality time together, free from distractions, fostering strong emotional connections. Conflicts are resolved through open discussions, with elders and church leaders often mediating, ensuring love and respect remain at the core of every relationship. Balancing tradition with little innovations, the Amish hold their traditions close, but that doesn't mean their way of life is completely rigid. While their faith and customs remain unchanged, Amish couples often find small, meaningful ways to keep their relationships fresh without straying from their values. For instance, while they don't use modern technology, some Amish families have adapted by incorporating solar power for essential needs or using horse-drawn buggies with small safety modifications. Similarly, in relationships, small innovations help keep love strong. A husband might surprise his wife by crafting a handmade wooden gift, or a wife might introduce a new family recipe to add variety to their meals. These simple gestures breathe new life into everyday routines without breaking the foundation of tradition. Another way Amish couples nurture their bond is through seasonal activities, like taking a sleigh ride in winter or planting a new garden in spring. These moments allow them to experience joy and connection in fresh ways, while still honoring their simple lifestyle. At its core, love, just like Amish traditions, is both timeless and adaptable. While the world changes, the principles of devotion, respect, and companionship remain steady. As the Amish say, a strong marriage is built not just on what stays the same, but also on how two hearts grow together. Love, in its purest form, is not about grand gestures or fleeting moments. It's about the simple daily acts of devotion that build an unshakable bond. The Amish way of nurturing relationships reminds us that true connection comes from faith, service, and shared experiences, rather than distractions of the modern world. From silent love languages to handwritten notes, from cooking together to spending undistracted time, their approach proves that love flourishes in simplicity. In a fast-paced world, perhaps we too can learn from their traditions, choosing presence over convenience and cherishing the quiet, enduring beauty of a life shared in love.